professional planners. Such was the case when a charity fashion show was presented live on television.
Our next model is showing the latest thing in hot pants. This controversial fashion follows the mini and the maxi. You will notice that this hot pants outfit can also be worn as a two-place pea suit. My God, she forgot her bra.
So we bring to a close another amateur hour. And folks, be sure to send in your postcards with your votes to Amateur Hour, care of this station. Who goes the soprano?
In the dictionary, the word spoonerism is defined as an unintended interchange of syllables. Let's listen to this classic example.
And that is why we are proud that our company is the largest producer in the United States of magnesium, aluminum, and stool.
The telephone company plays an important role in broadcasting. All of the programs we see on television are carried through special phone lines to station affiliates. Due to human error, two programs were inadvertently intermixed, much to the surprise of the stations and viewers at home.
It's time now, ladies and gentlemen, for our featured guest, the prominent author, lecturer, and social leader, Mrs. Elwood Dodge, who is able to leap tall buildings in a single bound.
The Soviet Union today launched a new multi-seat spaceship with 3 cosmonauts aboard. TASS, the official Soviet news agency, reported that the spaceship Voskhod carried a pilot, a scientist, and a doctor. The agency said the flight was being made to carry out scientific, physical, and technical investigations of a space flight on man's orgasm. The spaceship... Hello? Hello, New York.
All right, young lady, it's your turn. What was the greatest surprise you ever had?
Gee, what a question. Let me think. Oh, yeah. The best surprise that I ever had was when my husband got out of the Army. I woke up one morning and he was standing by my bed with his discharge in his hand. I don't mean that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we regret that we're having video difficulties. As soon as our difficulties are restored, we will return you to our regularly scheduled program.
As I look out the window, I hesitate to say that it's raining, because the Weather Bureau doesn't call it that. They call it fog. This is to tell you that the fog is overflowing the sewers. And the weatherman down at the Battery here in New York says the forecast for today is...
A question, let me think. Oh, yeah. The best surprise that I ever had was when my husband got out of the Army. I woke up one morning and he was standing by my bed with his discharge in his hand. I don't mean that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we regret that we're having video difficulties. As soon as our difficulties are restored, we will return you to our regularly scheduled program.
As I look out the window, I hesitate to say that it's raining, because the Weather Bureau doesn't call it that. They call it fog. This is to tell you that the fog is overflowing the sewers. And the weatherman down at the Battery here in New York says the forecast for today is clear. Clear up to my ankles.
No documentary of the history of broadcasting would be complete without radio's most classic blooper.
October 1938. While America slumbered in a period of calm after World War I, a war to end all wars, in Europe, Adolf Hitler's unholy alliance was making plans for the conquest of the free world, which he hoped to crush under the heels of his new form of tyranny, Nazism. In America, October 30th, 1938, it was Halloween night. Millions of American families were safe in their homes, enjoying the entertainment of their favorite radio programs in an era of peace. In New York City, a group of professional actors in the Mercury Theater, under the direction of Orson Welles, were about to present the famous H.G. Wells story, War of the Worlds, a radio program that would startle most of the nation, and which turned out to be a blooper nightmare for the broadcast industry. The next voice that you will hear will be that of the distinguished American actor Orson Welles in the role of Dr. Pearson, scientist.
Of the creatures in the rocket cylinder at Grover's Mill, I can give you no authoritative information either as to their nature, their origin, or their purposes here on Earth. For want of a better term, I shall refer to the mysterious weapon as a heat ray.
Thank you, Professor Pearson.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have a grave announcement to make. Incredible as it may seem, both the observations of science and the evidence of our eyes lead to the inescapable assumption that those strange beings who landed in the Jersey farmlands tonight are the vanguard of an invading army from the planet Mars.
This is Orson Welles, ladies and gentlemen. Out of character, to assure you that the War of the Worlds has no further significance than as the holiday offering it was intended to be. The Mercury Theater's own radio version of dressing up in a sheet and jumping out of a bush and saying boo. You will be relieved, I hope, to learn that we didn't mean it. So goodbye, everybody, and remember, please, for the next day or so, the terrible lesson you learned tonight. That grinning, glowing, globular invader of your living room is an inhabitant of the pumpkin patch, and if your doorbell rings and nobody's there, that was no Martian, it's Halloween.
I'll be a son of a bitch.
We're here at Washington's National Airport awaiting the arrival of our very distinguished guests, the King and Queen of England. When they arrive, you will hear a 21-son galoot.
And now our country western show continues with Zeke Parker singing My Hole Has a Bucket in It. Sorry, wrong number. That should be My Bucket Has a Hole in It. That's quite a difference.
Channel 9 went along as fourth graders from Robinson Elementary School took a field trip to a farm today. This was a special treat for the youngsters since most of them have lived all their lives in the city. The excitement began early this morning as they learned animal husbandry techniques which will be useful to them in later life. By the end of the day, the children had been given a thorough look at the way nature works.
Oh, no. Who put this thing together?
Take one.
So, ladies, when you are thinking of an all-season thirst quencher, treat your family to a drink that's a delight winter or summer. Instant white rose, hot or cold, orange Tico P.
Wow. Wait a minute.
We switch you to the United Nations for this Freudian slip.
The conference at the UN regarding the Russian proposal is expected to come to a successful conclusion at the end of this session.
Our program of organ music will continue after this message from McPeter's Funeral Parlor.
And friends, your loved ones can receive no finer care than that offered by McFuneral's Peter Parlor.
Let's continue the newlywed game as we reunite our newlywed couples on today's program. Couple number 2, what was the first thing you said to your husband on your wedding night?
Gosh, that's a hard one.
Jim Chester's Restaurant in the Market Street Arcade specializes in tasty food served quickly and attractively. So for a change of pace lunch, stop by Chester's Restaurant, where this week's special is a chilled grease sandwich and a choke.
Portable TV cameras are being built smaller and less conspicuous than ever before. During long political convention hours, they are sometimes employed to bring the TV audience candid pictures of the convention participants, and as a result, will sometimes catch unsuspecting people off guard.